Hey gang, how you doing? Jonathan here for Tailhunter Sportfishing, and it's time once again for the Mexican Minute La Paz video fishing report, coming to you from La Paz, Baja, Mexico, and covering all of the fishing action for our Tailhunter Sportfishing fleet for the dates of the 12th through the 19th of September 2023. Wherever you are, hope you're doing well. Thank you for checking in. Thanks for spending time with us, and please don't forget to do us a big favor. If you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up, a like, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, let's talk about what's going on this past week. I think the biggest news was that we didn't have any storms. We didn't have any, maybe I shouldn't say that too loud, no hurricanes, no torritos, no gully washers. I'm not going to say we're out of the trees yet, so to speak, as far as the hurricane season is concerned. And you know, with a lot of these things, nothing's on the advisories. There's nothing on the radar that shows up. But these especially afternoon torritos, these little baby hurricanes, as it will, that come up in almost no time with no advance warning. They blow up out of nowhere and they rain like crazy, thunder, lightning for could be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, could be an hour, could be 2 hours, and then they dissipate and they disappear. We're not quite out of that season yet, but as far as this last week or so is concerned, we didn't have anything happen. We had bright sunshine, in fact, quite warm, high 90s, low hundreds, lots of humidity, and unfortunately, when we do have these storms, within about 2 weeks after we get a rainfall, not only do we have lots of grass growing, lots of trees blooming, cactus are turning green, the hills are just beautiful, we also have bugs, insects hatch, we have moths, mosquitoes, flies, all kinds of other little flying critters and stuff like that. So don't forget to bring some repellent. Don't forget when you're down here, keep your windows and doors closed, keep the air conditioning on the inside, which is a good idea anyway, but to keep the bugs out, you want to keep things closed. Now, it's been about 8 or 9 days since our last rain, so we're getting fewer bugs right now, and hopefully without any more rains, without any more standing water, all the bugs will be gone by the time you're down here. Anyway, that was kind of the big news. No rain, no thunder, no lightning, nobody got blown off the water as they were in the past couple of weeks. In fact, fishing, once again, it rocks. What can I say? Dorado, still the number one centerpiece for our fishing fleets. Dorado running, I'd say 5 to about 15 pounds on the average. Very easy to catch limits most days. Now, every now and then one boat, doesn't do so well as the others. Every now and then we have an off kind of day. But overall, if you're down here like most folks fishing for 2, 3, 4, 5 days, let me tell you, you're going to go home with some fish. The Dorado are scattered in a wide area, and whether you're fishing with our Tailhunter La Paz fleet or whether you're fishing with our Tailhunter Las Arenas fleet, you're going to catch some Dorado. Are you going to catch the big ones? As I've mentioned in the past, this has been one of the most incredible, epic seasons for Dorado that I've ever seen in the 30 years Jill and I have been down here. Not only are we catching more Dorado than we've ever seen, but we're seeing bigger Dorado than I've ever seen. I mean, if you're looking for a trophy Dorado, your chances of catching a 30 to 50 pound fish, or let me correct that, your chances of hooking a 30 to 50 pound fish are not out of the question. You might hook 1 or 2 or 3 of those a day or during your time here. And I say hooking because that's not necessarily going to get it to the boat. These are tough fish. These are big fish. Epic stories come back every day of our anglers who get onto one of these things and tell me, oh, they had it on for 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, and then losing it. That's just part of it. That's the fun. You just never know if you've got a line in the water, if you've got a bait drifting out there, if you're trolling something, you just never know what's going to catch. The other side of this, a lot more variety this week. Not only are we still getting some Pargo, Cabrilla, Jack Crevalle, but we've got little jags of tuna still popping up. Now, that's nothing guaranteed. It's mostly with our Las Arenas fleet, and it's sort of hit or miss. Every day we'll get a couple of them, usually maybe 2 or 3 or 4. They're moving very quickly. They're in a spot. They're there either early or they're there late. If you make a choice to go after the tuna, very often you'll find that you don't have any time to chase some of the other species. So it's a commitment you've got to make if you think you want to go chase the tuna. But if you get into them, they're a nice grade tuna. 10 pound to 15 pound footballs up to maybe 20 or 30 pounders. And I'm hearing stories of some 40 pounders out there as well. So we haven't had tuna in a long time, but the last week and a half or so, there have been some jags of tuna that are popping up. Maybe they're going to get better by the time you're down. We can only cross our fingers and hope. Other species, we've gotten a few more billfish than we've seen all season. Now, it's been a really weird season with our billfish. Sailfish, marlin, just haven't seen very many of them. But over the last week and a half or so, hey, we've gotten blue marlin, striped marlin, some sailfishes popped up. Have popped up as well. And even though sometimes they're not biting, we're certainly seeing some of them on the surface. A lot of them are being hooked right in the middle of the Dorado or the Bonito schools. So you just, like I said once again, you just never know if you've got, come on. Well, I tell you what just happened is we're so high tech. The light I used to light myself up fell down when I was recording this. So Jill told me to just keep it in there. So I'm keeping it in there. I'm not going to edit it out. But what I was telling you is you just never know. A lot of these billfish are hooked right when we're in the middle of the Dorado and Bonito schools. They're eating the bait. They're eating the Dorado and Bonito themselves. So you just never know what you're going to hook when you've got a bait in the water. And we had some, like I said, blue marlin. We had some sailfish, and we had some striped marlin also hooked this week. And we're also seeing more of them swimming around. So maybe things could get better. We can only hope, once again, like other species. The other very, very big surprise that happened this week, roosterfish. Where did they come from? We are the roosterfish capital of the world. We've got the world record, 115 pounds. We've released roosterfish, 120s, 130s, 140s, 150 pounders. But most of these roosterfish are here April, May, June. This time of year, we normally get, the little goofy, fun 5-pounders, great on the fly rod, great on spinning rod, light tackle. The last week, we've hooked some 60 to 80 pound roosterfish. Where'd they come from? Are they holdovers from the springtime? Are they the advanced guard for what's coming next year? I have no idea, but they've been a great surprise. Yes, there are some small ones, but these 40 to 80 pounders that we're hooking just outside of Muertos Bay, a big surprise, certainly a welcome surprise. And we've actually got some folks coming down now saying, you know what, I don't want any Dorado. Please, let's put me on one of these roosterfish. It's been on my bucket list forever. So we've got roosterfish. So there's always a surprise. Like I said, once again, if you've got a line in the water, you just never know what's going to bite. So that's going to be a quick wrap up. I'm going to let our fishing gallery do the talking once again this week, because look at the pictures, look at all the great photos, and that'll give you the best idea of what's going on. I think this is going to continue. We need it to hold on for the rest of the season, maybe another 6 or 7 more weeks before the winds start coming up and blowing us off the water. So we've got our fingers crossed. If you're coming down, we're looking forward to having you. Thanks for checking in. I'm Jonathan for the Mexican Minute. You take care. God bless. Take care of each other. We'll catch you next week on the Mexican Minute.